They tie the game up 2-2. Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse. Wow. 5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls on. And Arizona State wins it. Edward pulls up. And buries the puck. Daniels takes this shot for Kirby.
Welcome into Taco Tuesday edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratanudo at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter. Check the show out live there. And my IG, michael.caratanudo.5 on Instagram. And yes, you know it, Pitchfork Lunchers. If you haven't already, those of you that have, thank you. You can check the show out live on my YouTube channel too. So if you're having issues with anything, if you're having issues with anything, then just let me know, because you can go to the if you're having issues with the other two, you can go to the YouTube channel and mind you not watch the show live. But if you miss the show live, or if you catch the tail end, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and guess what? You can go back and watch shows. If you missed yesterday, it's a great interview with Sun Devil assistant head football coach Charlie Regal, assistant head coach and special teams coordinator, also working with the D-line. So, yeah, you can go back to the YouTube channel, watch the shows that you have missed. You can binge watch. I mean, everybody, come on, this day and age, the last few years, everybody loves to binge watch. So, that being said, that being said, it's easy to do. So all you have to do, go to YouTube, you can go to my channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. And again, you can catch up on any interviews missed. Again, Coach Regal, great conversation yesterday as the football team gets set to start its spring ball, second year under obviously Coach Dillingham, Coach Regal, and his staff. They're getting set to start spring ball. So again, very, very exciting. Baseball, in the midst of spring sports, obviously baseball, softball, baseball coming off the series win against that team down south, taking the first two, shutting out Arizona in the second game. But then, yes, the third game, that's fine as well. It's not fine, believe me. It's still annoying, but The team down south won 14-3, so that is that. And now now they and now baseball is getting set for their midweek game tonight. By the way, Connor Markle was named pitcher of the week. Pac-12, he was named Pac-12 pitcher of the week for his efforts in one-hitting rival, yes, Arizona, this weekend, as announced by the league office today. So that is very awesome. Yeah, just giving up one hit, and that was in that Saturday shutout. But yeah, 9-10 overall for baseball. Again, back to 500 in conference play, 3-3, 6-8 at home. Definitely need to improve on that. And 3-1 away. Just to remind you guys, as I like to do. And yes, so tonight at 6:30, they play Utah Valley at Phoenix Funi. It's live on the ASU live stream. So yes, 6:30 tonight, Utah Valley. And then 1 p.m. matinee tomorrow, kind of like a spring training game. 1 p.m. tomorrow, they will also be taking on Utah Valley. So that is what baseball has coming up. And softball. Oh, by the way, Katie Vale was named the Pac-12 Lacrosse Defensive Player of the Week. So, hell yes. Again, they got that first conference win over San Diego State, where they were in the game the whole time. Talked about it yesterday. Controlling, leading the score. San Diego State, I think, had two separate leads, but the Devils, Lady Devils, able to come back on that, and they was named the Defensive Player of the Week. So that is very, very cool. Also for softball, again, they will drop to a 3 to Oregon State, but they did, my friends, they did take the last game. Avoiding the sweep, obviously always huge. You get a game pitch like that, a pitching gem like that from Marissa Schold, and you definitely can't waste that. And they did not, as they get the 5-1 victory over Oregon State. And now the 17-11 Sun Devil softball team, 2-4 in conference play, but 16-9 at home, 1-2 away. So they do hit the road. Yes, they do hit the road as they get set to take on the Ducks. So going back to back against the Oregon schools, they they do take on the Ducks. And then on the way back, they're not going to come. They are. But they have a midweek series, which is really a midweek doubleheader. They have a Wednesday doubleheader on the 27th, which is at USD, at San Diego, taking on the Toreros. So that is next week. If you're in the San Diego area, 12 on Wednesday, 12 and 2:30 on Wednesday in San Diego. So, yeah, that is and then they come, and then, well, I mean, it's a pack your lunch kind of road trip because they're at Oregon for 3 this weekend, the 22nd through the 24th. Then the 27th, like I said, at USD, and then Friday. Oh, and then they have some time off. That's why they're doing that doubleheader, 27th, and then they have that next weekend off. But then the weekend after, they are at Stanford, so April 5th through 7th. So the next time you get to see him at home, if you did not go to that Oregon State series, the next time you see them at home will be April 12th. It'll be a minute. So April 12th, where they will host Utah, the Utes, for the weekend, 12th, 13th, and 14th. And then they have that rematch against Grand Canyon on April 16th, which, again, they beat 8-2 last time. But we'll see, again, where both teams are at that point. But, yeah, and then they go to play that school down south, April 19th, 20th, and 21st. And yeah, play that school down south, and then they have Cal and UCLA at home. Again, just looking ahead, but yeah, I mean, March 17th was their last home game, right? This last weekend, St. Patty's Day. And I mean, it's almost a month that they're granted they have that one weekend off, but it's almost a month until they're home again on April 12th. So, but the cool news is, Pitchfork Lunchers, the very cool news that I have for you is that Coach Bartlett will be joining me tomorrow on this show, 12:15, and we will get to hear from, well, second-year head coach here at ASU, but has, again, come from Ball State, Texas, and, as well, she's an assistant at Texas, but still, Megan Bartlett will be joining the show tomorrow. So again, set a reminder, set your alarms, calendars, everything. But Sun Devil softball, women's softball head coach Megan Bartlett will be joining me tomorrow. So again, she came in at a sprint too, and I've talked about it with Coach Regal, obviously with Coach Dillingham and the staff, what they had to do, come in a sprint, and it was the same thing for Coach Bartlett after Trisha Ford took the job at A&M. And then, some players obviously did hit the portal, but her and I will talk about that tomorrow. So very, very stoked, very excited to have Coach Bartlett make her Pitchfork Lunch debut, which, again, we all know the Pitchfork Lunch mojo, the 0.00001% to tack on to their 99.99999% of awesome coaching, talent, and skill. Puts them over the top, and we love the Pitchfork Lunch mojo, right? But nonetheless, Coach Bartlett will be joining me 12:15 tomorrow. So again, do not miss that. As again, set a reminder. I will remind you as well too. But just saying, set a reminder and all that good stuff, and you can check it all out. So that is the cool part to it. So yes, Coach Bartlett tomorrow, 12:15, women's softball head coach. And I look forward to talking to her and getting some players on as well too, as the season goes on. And since they'll be on the road for a minute, we'll see what we can do with that. So, what was I going to say? Also, by the way, don't forget that wrestling who won the Pac-12 tournament and did a obviously they won the Pac-12 tournament And again, bookending it, winning the first ever one, and a team that finished 7-6 overall, 4-1 in conference, though. Who took on some awesome teams. Again, 5 individual titles, first place in the Pac-12 championships, and on Thursday, in Kansas City, the NCAA championship starts. So they will be. They have 5 individual titles at the Pac-12 championship. Yeah, 5 individual titles, which obviously very huge. Again, like I said, 5 individual victories at the championships. That's going to win you. That's going to win you a lot of obviously matches, right? I mean, to overstate the obvious, yes, wrestling fans or people in general, but I mean, yeah, they took out Little Rock. Little Rock was the next closest at 114.5, but ASU 137.5 points. Little Rock's 114.5. Oregon State had 109. Stanford 101.5. Cal Poly 96.5, and CSU Bakersfield 38. I mean, when you win 4 of the first 5 bouts of the final session, Richard Figueroa at 125, Jesse Vasquez at 141, Kyle Parko at 149, Ja'Cory Teamer at 157. And then they close the tournament with an emphatic finish by Colton Schultz, 285, who pinned Oregon State's Boone McDermott, just 101. I know I said this before, but guys, just 101 into the championship match. I mean, and it was Schultz had two matches that day, right? And it was a combined 206 across both wins. So 101 for the match against Boone McDermott, and 105 in his first win. And it's the team's 4th title in the past 5 seasons under 6-year, or 4th title in the past 5 seasons, and the 6th under head coach Zeke Jones, of course, who's done a phenomenal job. And after championships, we aiming to obviously get coach on the show. Yeah, so Figueroa took 135. The 133, little Nasser Bailey of Little Rock beat Julian Chelbov of ASU 8-3. But then 141, obviously Jesse Vasquez won. 149, like I said, Kyle Parko won. 157, Ja'Cory Teamer won. And then the 174, Kale Valencia of ASU won by tech fall over the NCAA championship allocation match. But Valencia won that over Tyler Brennan of Little Rock, and then Tony Negron of ASU got 2nd place in the 184. weight class as he fell to Trey Munoz, and then the 197. Jacob Messner of ASU beat Ryan Arrington of CSU Bakersfield to take fifth place. But then the heavyweight number one, Colton Schultz, like I said, he won by fall over Boone McDermott of Oregon State 101. And Schultz beat Josiah Hill, like I said, in 105, of Little Rock in 105 in the semifinal. So, yeah. So qualifiers for the NCAA championships: Figueroa, Richard Figueroa, Julian Shelbove, Jesse Vasquez, Kyle Parco, Ja'Cory Teamer, Kel Valencia, and Colton Schultz. So yeah, that's just awesome. And for head coach Zeke Jones, again, like I said, wrestling went away for a minute, and I know a lot of you know this. A lot of people were not happy about that, not happy whatsoever at all. That wrestling went away, and the fact that it did. I mean, it came back, but yeah, it was, not, like I said, not a, not a very good feeling, and rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So that being said, um, it's one of those things where when you look at it, wrestling, like I said, needed to definitely needed to come back, and that it did. Also, water polo is back this weekend, and they are taking on San Jose State on the road. Um, and again, Luca Pedoveri was named to the Catino Award watch list, which is she's one of 22 athletes to be selected for the 2024 award watch list, which recognizes the best player in men's and women's collegiate water polo. So, yeah, 102 points in what's that? I mean, 23 games. They are 19-4 in those 23. And she has, I shouldn't say points, I should get that right. She has I mean, a team that scored a ton, as you know, and I've talked about it, and I look forward to she has 102 goals. Yeah, not just 102 points. 102 goals, 22 assists, 124 points. So 102 goals in 23 games. So that's just under 5 goals a game. Like, and people know that. I mean, she's a scorer. They know it. Like, yeah, it's I mean, that's huge. Yeah, I mean, that's just, like I said, absolutely huge. And she I mean, that's an insane pace. To say, like, I mean, it's beyond phenomenal. I can't even think of the adjectives anymore, because that's insane. 102 goals in 23 games and 22 assists, so 124 points to lead the Devils. And but like I said, they are 19-4. They're 0-1 in conference play, but they've won 5 straight. They're 9-0 at home, 1-1 away, and then 9-3 on neutral site. So, yes, loving the home the home I guess, home pool advantage at the Bowdoin Plummer Aquatic Center. But yes, they take on San Jose State this Saturday at 1 p.m. And then Sunday, they'll be up in San Jose, but they'll head across. They'll head over to Palo Alto and take on Stanford at 2 p.m. So Saturdays at 1, Sundays at 2. And then they return home the 30th for a doubleheader, actually. They are taking on Cal at noon and then Ottawa at 3 p.m. So, again, put it in your calendars. March 30th, get on out there, get a doubleheader of this phenomenal women's water polo team, as, again, they are 19-4 overall. And they are number 8, by the way, in the country. So just in case you were wondering, that is where water polo, wrestling are at, softball, baseball, all that good stuff. So I'm going to step aside real quick. But when I get back, we are going to jump into a little bit more of softball and baseball. Have some sound over the weekend from Sunday, actually from Saturday, from Coach Bartlett. I do want to play because, again, it was a tough 7th inning, and that was frustrating. But obviously, baseball too. The 2 wins over Arizona. What does that do for momentum? But we're going to step aside. I'll step aside. Don't go too far. Again, it's Taco Tuesday, so take some bites of your tacos and all that good stuff. But we'll be back with more Pitchfork Lunch. And welcome back to Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Carasino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. See the show live there, my IG, michael.carasino.5, and YouTube. Check it out live on YouTube. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you happen to miss a show and miss any interviews like you did yesterday with Coach Regal and previously with a bunch of other coaches, players, insiders, voices, all that good stuff, it is here on Pitchfork Lunch. I bring you the uniform cornucopia of I know, laying it on too thick. I apologize. But no, the full spectrum, everything going around Sun Devil sports. And before we jump into baseball and softball, because I did say we're going to go deeper into that. By the way, did you see the NCAA bracket? Yes, South Carolina is the overall number 1 team, but let's see. USC, a number 1 seed. Yes, they are. USC is a number 1 seed in the Portland 3 regional. USC's a number 1 seed there, and then USC's the number 1 seed there, and then we have in the Portland in the regional 4 in Portland as well. Let's see, Utah. Well, Stanford is the number 2 seed. Utah is the number 5 seed, which they have a second round matchup. Could have a second round matchup with Gonzaga, which it looks like it. So yeah, Stanford's 2, Utah's 5. And then when we go to the the regional 1 in Albany, region 1 in Albany, pardon me, say that 10 times fast, right? We have no. Oh, come on. If I froze, I froze. That's just awesome. That is just awesome. Okay, well, hopefully you still hear me. I'm going to keep going on. If it froze, do not worry. Unfortunately, sometimes this happens, and I don't understand why, and it's really flustering. But so weird. But anyway, so yeah, in that Albany 1 regional, Oregon State is a 3 seed. Oh, I also skipped. Oh, all right. I'll get to that in a second, but oh, this is ridiculous. Pardon me again. Sorry. Technology. And yeah. My apologies. And we'll get to this. Okay, well, while this is not letting me switch over, I'm pretty sure, though, you can still hear me. So, and see me. Lights on, everything's on. So, yeah. So, I mean, you have USC, and so USC's a 1 seed. Both UCLA and Stanford are 2 seeds. Oregon State is a 3 seed. Colorado is a 5 seed. Utah's a 5 seed. And then Arizona is in the that first 4. They're playing for an 11 seed on the women's side. So yes, best conference in Basketball on the women's side, absolutely. So yeah, just want to give a heads up there. Yes, unfortunately, I know the Devils aren't there, but giving a Pac-12 update because that is what obviously, and I talked about it, what they played all season long. The competition they played against all season long. Um, okay. So this is annoying. Okay. Well, for those of you, I so apologize for that. That is not cool. Do not know what happened there. And all of a sudden, technology, it just froze. Internet, everything is good. And I can, yes, check that. I know I say the internet dislikes me, and Coach Regal and I were talking about that yesterday. So my apologies. But anyway, I just wanted to say there's I was wrapping up the Pac-12 teams in the women's tournament, and when you look at, so if you start with the Region 1 in Albany, Oregon State is a 3 seed in that. So you have Oregon State, and then you go Region 2 in Albany. Colorado's a 5 seed, and UCLA is a 2 seed. So there's 3 teams. And then when you go to the Portland Region 3, USC's a 1 seed. There. And then when you go to the Portland, the Regional 4 in Portland, Utah's a 5 seed and Stanford is a 2 seed. So that's 6 teams with a chance at 7, because on Thursday, the team down south, the women's team down south, Arizona, will take on number 11 Auburn. Well, they're playing for the 11 seed. And they would play Syracuse. So that would put, if Arizona's in there, if Arizona beats Auburn, they would be in the same Regional 3 as USC, who's the number 1 seed. So you have 2 Pac-12 teams in Portland Regional 3. You already have 2 in the Regional 4 in Portland. And then 1 in Albany Region 1, and then 2 Pac-12 teams in Albany Region 4. So that's what I was just saying. All I was saying is that's what ASU had to deal with all year long. And again, hey, look, you need to win. And Coach, Adair said, team growing, a young team, but you got to make plays. You gotta get it done on the court. And she made no bones about that. Neither did the players. So that is one thing that looking, that you look at. And like I said, having 6 teams in the top 25, all conference play long. I mean, pretty much all year long, but I mean, once conference play started and early on in conference play, it was tough to go through a weekend series without playing top, 25 ranked team. And in some cases, a top 10 ranked team. So little debate last night on the Sports Arena. I feel Stanford should have been the number 1. Yes, I understand they had that loss to Arizona. But one of, their main players wasn't playing. But nonetheless, anyway, I digress. I just wanted to share that because that is huge on the women's side. Also, but baseball, again, want to get into this because they took 2 out of 3 from that team down south. That's right. Pitchfork Lunchers, 2 out of 3. Yes, we did want the sweep. It would have been the first time since 98 that the Devils swept the Cats down in Tucson. Not just swept them in general, but swept the Cats down in Tucson. So, but when you look at this team, Brandon Compton leading the team with a 355 batting average, and literally there's just like a eyelash behind him. Harris Williams is at 354. Jacob Tobias hitting 333. Steve Ondina 327. Ethan Mendoza 283. Ryan Campos is at 274. Kian Vu is hitting 368. He's played in 11 of the 18 games, started 4 of them. He's hitting 368. Kevin Carsetter's at 302. You're just looking at it, but it's a team that's hit, 24 home runs in 19 games, which, again, more than 1 home run a game. So you'll obviously, Coach Bloomquist talked about that. You'll take that. But Ryan Campos leading the team with 6, and then both Brandon Compton and Isaiah Jackson have 4. Harris Williams has 3. Steve Ondina has 1. Oh, yeah, Ryan Campos leads the team, like I said, with 6, and both Isaiah Jackson and Brandon Compton have 4, along with Jacob Tobias. So yeah, Compton, Tobias, and Jackson each have 4. Ryan Campos leading the team with 6, and then Harris Williams, like I said, has 3. Steve Ondina has 1. New Contradas, again, before he got hurt, has 1. And Nick McLean also has 1. So 24 home runs for the Devils so far this season. I do like the 46 doubles, 192 hits, but 46 doubles, 4 triples. Again, not the easiest to get, but 4 triples. And then, like I said, the 24 home runs for this Devils team. But I mean, you look at, and Coach Bloomquist talked about this, mixing the batting order up. And, some guys, if they're hitting good, they're going to be up in the lineup. But when we look at, the opener Friday night in Tucson at High Corbett Field, when we look at it, Harris Williams led off, and then Ryan Campos was batting second, Nick McLean third, Jacob Tobias, you mentioned, back in the 4-hole. But Tobias, and Coach Bloomquist talked about it after the New Mexico game. Wasn't hitting the way Compton was hitting, so he put Compton in the and so he has no problem. If you got to move guys down. But when you look at, yeah, I mean, the lineup, Ryan Harris Williams leading off, and then followed by Campos, Nick McLean, Eamon Lance was batting fourth. Hold on. Jacob Tobias was batting fourth, and then Josiah Cromwick was the DH, and then Ethan Mendoza, Isaiah Jackson, and Mario Demera at third. Jax Ryan was at short, on that opening game that they won 3-2. Down in the eighth, scored in the top of the ninth, though, and then they were able to and then you look at the 16th. I mean, what this team did to shut them out 4-0. And like I said, Connor Markle, but again, you had Williams, Campos, McLean, Tobias, Brandon Compton was batting fifth, and then Mendoza in the 6-hole, Isaiah Jackson in the 7-hole, Ondina batting eighth, and then Jax Ryan batting ninth. So, but you look at that, and ASU put up one in the third, one in the fifth, one in the seventh, one in the eighth. So, And Connor Markle again pitched an absolute gem. Went 6 innings, only gave up the 1 hit, like I said, 8 Ks to just 3 walks. And I said that yesterday, you will take that. And he threw 89 pitches. 49 of those were strikes. So, I mean, and then Ryan Schieffer comes in and gets the save. 3 innings. He gave up no hits. So, I mean, again, one hit in 9 innings. That's I'm sure Arizona got an earful after that game, and which led to the Bats waking up on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, four strikeouts to just 1 walk. So overall 12 strikeouts, 4 walks. I mean, not a bad day there. And, between the two, a 3.23 ERA. So yeah, that's just, that's awesome to see. And look, I mean, that's one thing that is one thing that, when you think about what Willie Bloomquist has talked about, and yes, firing guys, can a rivalry game do that? But now, how can the momentum take this going forward? Yes, Isaiah Jackson needs to hit more, but Isaiah Jackson defensive out in center field, like that is like Coach says, it's baseball. Unfortunately, when you get into a thing, but a slump, you're not hitting consistently. I won't say the best, but you're not hitting consistently. Like that's the tough part. But Isaiah Jackson defense in center field, like, yeah, he's covering a lot of ground. You definitely, Sun Devil fans, you definitely want that out there. And you can see it tomorrow night against Utah Valley. But yeah, I mean, if you're Willie Bloomquist, and again, he talks about the leadership, he talks about guys, they're working hard. He said they have great character, they work hard, but the accountability of that. So that is the other side to it. Teammates, getting on teammates, but obviously in, again, an encouraging way, but a good way to where you're like, hey, let's go with this. Let's get it done. But yeah, what they're doing, what they can do. There's more than enough baseball left, but yeah, keep that intensity up. Win this midweek series against Utah Valley, and that's what you're playing 2 games against them. Usually it would just be the 1 game, but you're playing 2 games against them, and that's huge because you win that, you go to 11-10, and then you head to Pullman to take on Washington State. Like I said, 6:30 today, 1:00 tomorrow, and then Friday, 4:05, and you can check it out on the WSU live stream in Pullman, and it'll be on radio KAZG 1440 AM, just in case. And then on Saturday, the 23rd, you can check it out on the WSU live stream at 2:05 p.m. So yeah, 22nd and 4:05. Saturday is at 2:05, and it's on the WSU live stream, and then it'll be on AM 1060 locally if you're out and about. And then on Sunday, it's 11:05 a.m. game, and same thing, the WSU live stream, and then AM 1060. So Fridays is the only difference. It's on 1440 a.m. And then after Washington State, by the way, Sunday, they're going to head down to they play UNLV at 6:05 on Monday. So that's where they are headed on March 25th. So yeah, 6:05 game. And then they return home for Cal that last weekend of March 28th, 29th, 30th. And Cal will be in Phoenix Muni then. So, but before we get out of here, I want to play Coach Bartlett's sound from Saturday night. because she, again, I mean, it was a tough loss. As they fell to Oregon State 10-5. And, you know, when you looking at the box score, I mean, Oregon State put up 6th in the top of the 7th. So it was 5-4 going to the top of the 7th. And, Oregon State put up 6, and ASU did have 2 errors in that inning, which definitely cost them extending the inning and runs. And then a home run on Friday night, which was 5-3, was the final. Oregon State got 2 in the top of the 7th. Well, they got 2 in the top of the 6th and then 2 in the top of the 7th. So it was 1-1 going into the 5th, and then ASU put up 2 in the bottom of the 5th to make it 3-1. And then in the top of the 6th, like I said, Oregon State got 2, which made it 4-3. Or no. Oh, yeah, made it 3-3, and then they got 2 more in the top of the 7th. It made it 5-3. But anyway, without further ado, yes, let's get to we're going to wrap the show up with Coach Bartlett's comments from Saturday night. Just again, talking about Friday and Saturday, and then what they needed from Sunday and what inevitably they ended up getting on Sunday. That was the difference. So without further ado, here is Sun Devil softball head coach Megan Bartlett.
What can you say about how they did? Yeah, excited for the future of the program, right? Those are all 3 young ones, so they're starting to earn some time. Coming up in some big moments, so certainly the silver lining for tonight. It's a tough one.
Talk about Mac Osborne and what you necessarily expected of her tonight. She hasn't necessarily been on the mound in a while, but with the situation that you thrust her in, did you have necessarily any leash on her when runs were just starting to pile up, or did you just try to want to let her finish the game?
Yeah, we're going to let her finish the game, right? She hasn't pitched a ton. She needs the experience, and she has got to learn to just slow down in a big moment, right? Her gift is the fact she's got really, when she's commanding the zone and not overthrowing, she has one of the better drop balls in the country, right? So yeah, that's all we need her to do. Just, right, get him to pound the ball on the floor a little bit. I mean, I think all that happened. I mean, I blacked out a little bit, but like with 2 outs, right? So you gotta pick the ball up and make plays, especially when you got a drop ball kid on the mound. And they took some momentum, and we just got to find a way to shut the door and take opportunities right now with the pitching staff. And we've had Kenzie Brown out all year, Kylie McGee's also on the IR. So, but the 3 that we're rolling with right now, they're veterans. So you can't let one questionable call get in your head, right? And you feel like you've got to come back and throw the ball straight over the middle of the plate to get back in a count. So they've got to stick to their plan, trust their stuff. We'll get back at it in the morning.
And to piggyback off that, like you're saying, get back at it in the morning, is it almost good in your eyes as a coach to kind of have that quick turnaround? Because when you have a few little defensive mistakes that kind of snowball, but is it kind of good to have that quick turnaround?
Yeah. We're in our home field and in front of our crowd, so certainly as long as we are done with this awful weather, like this spitty, rainy, whatever is happening in Arizona. I didn't move here for that, so but yeah, we'll be okay with the quick turnaround in the morning. But now it's just time. They need to get gutsy, and they need to learn to perform in big moments. Like, that's the PAC conference. It's one of the best, certainly one of the top 2 softball conferences in the entire country. And every weekend, it doesn't matter if you're playing 1 in the standings or the last team in the standings. You have to show up and you have to perform every night if you're going to get wins in this conference. And we certainly, when the going gets tough, we need to be better.
What just needs to change when it comes to just 7th inning situations? This is now 7th straight day where you guys feel like this you've had the game in your hand, you have the opportunity.
And 2 different pitchers. They're 5th and 6th years. They've been in that situation a million times. They need to make pitches when they're called. That's it. You got to stick to the pitch plan.
On a positive note, how does it feel seeing all these alumni come back for alumni weekend?
So lovely. I got the chance to visit with them before the game, and I love that they feel welcomed here and they're starting to connect with the girls, and there's just such a rich tradition of winning here. So we're going to have dinner in a few minutes and they can give the girls all their pep talk and wisdom. But yeah, it's been really lovely to see them all back this weekend.
The 3 home runs today were obviously a nice thing to see, but they were all solo shots. Would you say that the hitting needs to get a little more timely?
I mean, yes and no. You hit 3 home runs in a game, and the reality is we just pick up the ball and execute pitches. We scored plenty to win. So the offense is funny like that, right? Like sometimes you win 1-0 ball games and you feel like you actually attack the right pitches at the plate, and sometimes you get into these crazy back and forth scores. Every day right now, the hitters seem to be making better adjustments. We're getting into a couple balls. But yeah, that one's on pitching and D. That one, I don't think so much on hitting.
What do you guys think? You're almost in the game. You can hear the crowd getting riled up and they're supporting the team. How much does playing at home impact the team?
Yeah, we love Club Fair. One of the best places to play in the country. So anybody who's seeing this, you're rowdy, you want to see some softball, get in this ballpark tomorrow and get crazy. But yeah, our fans are awesome. The program's certainly in a transition, and we've got a lot of young ones. And the reality is we took over 8 kids a year and a half ago. So there is going to be, 2, maybe 3 seasons of we're going to have talent. The young ones are going to start to get a little more experience and get older. We will certainly get healthy, right, and reload the pitching staff. But right now, we just have to keep them grinding and keep them positive and teach them and take the good with the bad.
What does the team need to do better on the base paths? 2 runners were early last night and 1 caught stealing. You guys were so aggressive in the beginning and then kind of slowed a little bit.
I know. That's a good question. I'll ask him. I don't know. Speed really shouldn't slump. So whatever we've got going on, that they're overthinking their starts or something at first base, we're certainly going to have a conversation, because I also think it's been 3 different base runners, right? Like it's not like the same person's just jumping early. But back to, I think it's easy to question the process and question what makes you good when games like that happen and in tough moments. And we talked about that in pregame. Like, we are a fast offense, we are a high contact rate team, and we're going to turn it into a track meet. So we're going to keep doing that. It's what makes us special, right? That we have kids up and down the lineup that can run and go gap to gap and drive the ball both ways and rip bases. So they're going to keep getting opportunities to base run, because we're going to keep doing it.
Do all signs right now point towards Marissa getting the start tomorrow, or do you feel
That's
like
a good
Max
question.
has an opportunity to get
Well,
with
we
this?
always have to see how Marissa's feeling, right? So she's certainly a warrior, but she's got some health stuff she's battling. So actually, I don't know. We'll see. We'll go back and watch the film tonight too. That'll certainly help.
Any updates on Acuna or McGee?
Not right now. We kind of scattered and all went in directions to go spend some time with the alumni and some of the travel ball teams that were up here. So not quite yet.
And that's it. You see it right there, head coach. That was on Saturday night, and she again. It's not an excuse. When you hear coaches say that, yes, they have young ones. Yes, she took over 8 players. So yeah, but we'll hear more from her tomorrow. And that is going to wrap it up. That is the bat flip. Forgot the mic drop. That's the bat flip right there. That's the walk off. So yes, so glad everybody joined today. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties in the middle. I do not know. I literally, if it was my fault, I would tell you. But technology errors, all of a sudden, it's just you could hear me because people text me so they could still hear and see, or they could see, but I was maybe frozen. I don't know. I apologize, but nonetheless, I was able to reboot, and that was that. So nonetheless, though, I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 12 to 1. And yes, head coach Megan Bartlett will be joining me at 12:15. So that's so very awesome. Absolutely love it when we get coaches on, and you can, hear from her second season. And we'll talk about going through the gauntlet, which is the Pac-12 in softball. Yes, for one more year. I know. Anyway, the last season of it. But yeah, so I will see you tomorrow. And again, you hit me up at Diablo00 on X, or artist formerly known on Twitter. You can see the show every day. My IG, Michael.Caratuno.5. And the YouTube channel, guys, you can check out the show live on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, though you miss interviews. You're not going to be able to see the show live. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and all the shows, they're right there for you. So it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe. But yes, great day. Obviously, great day in Sun Devil Nation. Got a lot coming up on Thursday as well. But some baseball tonight. Again, get on out there to as the men play, as the baseball team, I should say, plays Utah Valley, 6:30 p.m. tonight. So get on out there. Don't be bashful. I will be out there. Hit me up again on X if you're going to be out there. Let me know if you're going to be out there. All that good stuff. You can chat. Who knows? Got some ideas. Anyway, it's all good. So 6:30 tonight. But like I said, I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great rest of your Taco Tuesday. And I will see you mañana. And yes, you know what, Pitchfork Lunchers, I don't forget, because as always, the world is good. And forks up.
Carries three. Johnny Walker mashing up against control. His shot. Bruce score. They score. They tie the game up 2-2. Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse. Wow. 5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls off. And Arizona State wins it. Edwards pulls off. And buries the puck.